coming to you from Berlin in Germany. This episode is a little different to usual. Usually it's more of a knitting and sewing podcast where I go through my works in progress, my finished objects, etc, etc. But this time it's going to be more of a blog style. I haven't really done these before except my Vlogmas episodes, which ran pretty short because I got sick. But this time I am recording this because I'm going on holiday to Venice at the weekend. And as I was thinking about what I was going to pack, I realised that a lot of it is handmade. And I thought maybe you would be interested in seeing some of it, or all of it. So I'm going to show you the handmade sewn items and handmade knitted items that I'm going to be bringing, and also what projects I have planned for the trip. So yeah, that is today's video. I hope you enjoy. Below because I cannot remember them off the top of my head for the majority of what I'm going to talk about because I made them a year or two ago, but everything will be linked below. I will bring it over to you. I'll try and show you in some haphazard manner, but the lighting situation is not fantastic and I can't really bring you to another room because it's darker on that side of the apartment, so we'll just see what happens. You'll probably see pictures anyway from, let's sit back down. I have definitely talked about them in previous podcasts, so if for some reason you are interested in anything specifically, you'll be able to find out more information about them in previous episodes. The first dress that I am going to pack is the one that I made very recently, so you may recognize it if you have been here before. It is a linen dress. It's a combination of the Rhea dress by Tammy Handmade, and then also she had this little free pattern on her website for a cami, I think it was, and shorts, and I just took the top part of that pattern and made the bodice and then attached it to the rest of the Rhea pattern, and I added pockets and I added some waist ties so it brings it in a bit at the back. I love this dress. The only issue I have is that the straps are a little bit too long, so when I am standing it's fine, but when I sit down they whoop off my shoulders, which is not so fun. Also, the weather is supposed to be like really sunny, but also raining. So I have actually no idea what one packs or wears for 29 degrees and rain. But let's see. I've got some t-shirts that, not really t-shirts, I have one t-shirt, one knitted, that I can try and wear over or under this to stop myself from getting sunburnt because I am porcelain in skin colour. That's my phone. So yeah, dress number one. I think I'll wear this on the plane. There, I think. And on the subject of the Rhea dress, I have another one. This, everything needs an iron, but if I iron it and then I pack it and I get to Venice, there's no way of ironing it, so we're just going to deal with the fact that I look creased and raggedy. So this is the seam. It's got ruffles. I should probably not speak behind my dress. It's got 2 tiers with ruffles, and this one I did put some pockets in. It is quite see-through if you are standing against the sun, so that's fun, but hopefully no one will see anything. I'll have underwear on, it's fine. So that is the same dress, except with the original Rhea neckline. We're on a bit of a sewing theme at the moment because it's a bit easier just to do the sewing things first. Speaking of firsts, you have seen my first jumper and you will now see my first ever skirt. And it's very, very on point. I'm going to Venice, so Italy, and I'm using this pasta fabric. Isn't it so cute? I should probably try this on again to make sure it fits, but I think it will. I don't even think it's dress fabric. It's quite sturdy fabric, and I lined it with some, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's not silk, but it's meant to be like silk. That was quite disastrous. It's quite a horrible thing to look at, and it feels horrible, but it does the trick of stopping my dresses and skirts riding up at the front, which I hate, but it happens all the time. Really need to buy one of those like silk under dresses or underskirts to stop that problem, but for some reason it never ever occurs to me after it's come out of my mouth that I think I should get one of them, and then I never think about it ever again. But maybe in Italy I'll think about it. Who knows? So yeah, that is my skirt. And this is my first pair of shorts that I made. They look wrinkly and a mess, but they look great on. These I actually did wear in episode 1. They are by Melly Sews, I think, and they're her boxer short pattern, and they were a free pattern. The skirt I didn't mention, I did an online YouTube tutorial to figure this one out, but I don't know if I remember it. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's not like the most complicated skirt. I think it's an A-line skirt. It could be Annie A-line, or maybe it's a circle skirt. It could be a half circle skirt. I'm sorry, I have absolutely no idea. I learned to sew in 2020 and it was all a blur. So yeah, they're my shorts. And I'm also gonna throw this in. I'm not sure if I'll wear it, but it's a big, massive, oversized t-shirt that I have worn before. This one's made of double gauze, and it's another free pattern by Peppermint magazine, and I'll just have to leave the name. I might put a picture as well of these. This is the first time I tried making something with French seams, and I completely messed it up, and somehow I cut off a lot of seam allowance while doing it, which isn't supposed to happen, so I definitely did it wrong. But luckily it's a really oversized t-shirt, so it does not matter. And it's kind of like a pyjama-y loungewear kind of outfit, top, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's very comfortable and it should help keep the sun off of my shoulders. So that is the sewing related items that are gonna come along with me. And I will show you my knitting. Okay, pokely. So the first knitted item that's coming along is, it looks so funny when it's not on the body. This is my little secret crop by Jessie Maed Designs. And it's really fun. It's really nice to wear under one of, like, my yellow dress, or just for a little extra warmth or coverage. Not sure. Yeah. It's made of cotton. It's a sock yarn. It's actually sock yarn I'm going to be showing you in a bit. It's the Rhea Tutti Frutti yarn, and it's the passion fruit colourway. And I think I talked about it in detail two or three episodes ago, if you are interested. I was inspired by We Grow Wild when she knitted hers in a Tutti Frutti watermelon, which, FYI, why do us podcasters do this? We try to show socks in the most awkward way, but these are my watermelon socks. And Martina made her top like that, and for some reason I really liked the fact that it went a bit crazy at the bottom. You do the bottom part in the round and the top backwards and forwards, and for some reason I think it looks so bizarre and weird that I love it. But I think I will try making it, knitting it in two pieces next time, so that it all looks like it's supposed to. I can put my shoes back on now. The next knitted item is something I should have written down. This I wore in my first ever episode as well. I think it's called the Bamboo Summer Top or Summer Crop, but again, it'll be here, it'll be down below. Is this one? I really like this one. This was knitted in Drops Bell in the, it's like nature colour. I think it's the only one that looks like it's this colour. It looks kind of yellow and pink whenever I look at it, but when I wear it, it looks creamy off-white. It kind of plays tricks with my mind. But I love it. This is knitted in two pieces and then sewn together. No, I'm lying. Am I lying? I am lying. It's knitted in the round and then sewn together at the top. So this top part must be knitted for that. This is the time when I used to knit English style, and I didn't have or even know of the concept of rowing out, where you could see the differences between your knitting and your purling. And now I knit continental, you can see it vastly. It's a huge difference between the two. But you can't see it here, which is why I assumed it was knitted in two pieces. But no, it's just gloriously knitted because it was English style, but that hurts far too much for me to do. So I just have to deal with messier stitches, but less painful hands. So that is the first one, first knitted, well, second knitted top technically. The next one is the same yarn, Drops Bell, and this one's a Ranunculus in t-shirt format. So this one would be really nice to throw over the yellow dress or my Racoon dress, but it would also work with the shorts and with the pasta skirt. So as well as this. That one would also go with the shorts and the pasta skirt. Did I show you this one up close? As you can see, I have a thing for lace. I do love me a bit of lace. And the final knitted item that I am bringing is another Ranunculus, because despite the fact that I insist I don't really like blue, everything I own seems to be blue, and this is one of the most worn jumpers that I have. And it's blue. It's the first and only Mohair item that I've knitted with, that I have knitted, and will not be the last. Unfortunately, it's not that cheap to buy Mohair, so I have many plans, but none have come to fruition yet. But there's some yarn up here that is begging me to get some Mohair to go with it, so I will eventually. So this is for the times when I'm assuming at some point it might possibly maybe get cool, and then I'm prepared. This one was knitted in Drops Nord because my mum gave me yarn when I first started to knit, and also Tilia, Vilkalana Tilia Mohair in ice blue, I think, and it's so nice. So that is the knitting and sewing. There's one more sewn thing which looks a bit of a mess and a bit grubby to show on YouTube, but it's still what I'm going to be wearing at night. That is an eye mask. My mum made this for me about 3 years ago, I think, and it used to have lavender in it, but it went all mouldy and disgusting and gross, so I had to cut it out and empty it out and put some just padded like animal stuffing into it. And the elastic has died a long time ago. It's been fixed, it's been mended, and yeah, it looks a bit stained because of the moisturiser I have at night, but it has been washed, so it is clean. Just seen better days, but it's still adorable. So that is everything I have packed to wear that I made myself. I've also got some shorts for bed and a t-shirt and a bikini. I wanted to learn to make one, but alas, it has not happened. Maybe one day. I love how I said this was going to be a vlog style, and yet I'm just gonna sit here in front of the camera as usual. I tried to do more vlog style earlier, but it's really hard. I don't know how to do it. I will insert, at some point there has been footage inserted of my wardrobe filled with beautiful clothes that I was trying to decide between, but actually filming and talking and having light and someone not being there or there not being noise, yeah. So my vlog is going to be basically the same as any other video. To talk about the projects that I'm going to bring with me. So the first one is the leftovers from the Jessie Maed my little secret crop, and that is these. I have shown them I think 2 episodes ago. Not very exciting. I didn't get any further on them, but now I've done my ribbing, the leg. They're quite short because there's not that much. And I've done a slip stitch or an eye of partridge. I'm not really sure of the difference, but it's I don't know if you can even see it. That kind of heel. It's a gusset, heel and gusset style heel. I'm just doing the decreases now for the foot so that it's all ready, so that when I'm on the airplane or when I'm at the we're going to Venice for 2 days, and then the other 5 days we're in some like camping resort place with my husband's parents, because that is why we're going. It is for their wedding anniversary, I believe, their 20th wedding anniversary. So as a way to celebrate, we're all going as a family together. They love camping, so we're going to them. So I don't really know what one does on a camping holiday, so I'm bringing knitting. And this is cotton, so if it's really hot or muggy and I can't handle wool, this is my backup plan. Slight interruption there. So back to the socks, not much more to say. They're, yeah, cotton, they're knitted on my my new to me higher bamboos. They're are you fixed? I believe you are fixed needles. And I've got my 2.25 for the leg and 2mm for the heel, because when I do purling it starts to get a bit too loose. So I've gone down for the heel, and then I go back to 2.25 for the foot. So I have these ready in case it is hot and I need some cotton in my life. And the other two are, I was going to say are knitted. Obviously they're knitted. Wool. I think I will need to insert some extra footage to show you the sheer size of this. This is all set up and ready to go. I wanted to get my Humlebi shawl that I'm knitting for my mum into the place where I don't need to think about anything like bumblebees or lace. So now I've just got the backwards and forwards knitting until it gets smaller and smaller, and then it's done. So I did make a bit of a fluff up on this shawl, and it has caused me some confusion. I talked about this in my my real episode, my normal episode about the mistake, but I basically on purpose added 20 extra stitches because I thought that my gauge was off and that I would need to make it bigger. Did not need to do that. And then I messed up at some point the count, so I should have had even stitches on each side of the main stitch, like the center stitch. I did not, so I had to fudge around some of the decreases, which has made it look a bit weird. And then when I thought I had figured it out, I ended up miscalculating a ridiculous amount of times, and then realizing that I had done about 12 rows too much on the bottom. And then I just continued with it, because in reality it's fine. It's a shawl, it doesn't look bad. It just confused all the numbers because it gets smaller as you go, and then all my numbers were completely off. And then I made a mistake and had to fix that with some decreases, and yeah. But here it is. Little bumblebees. And yeah, now you can see the size of this. Here's the center. So yeah, that is definitely big enough. So now all I have to do is knit backwards and forwards and until it's done. So I've saved this for my aeroplane and holiday knitting, because even though I think I can relax on holidays and do complicated things, I never can because I'm not in my normal routine. There are people talking, maybe I'm out with other people and then I can't concentrate. So plain knitting is all good for me. So I've got stockinette on the socks and stockinette on the shawl. Now that the bumblebees and the lace are done. Ah, oh, I'm all entangled. It is Drops Soft Tweed Mix in a porridgey colour. It's wool, alpaca and viscose. So hopefully there's enough balls of wool in there to finish off this shawl. And I'm completely entangled around my feet. The needles that I'm using are the Licker needles, and these are 4mm, but I could probably have gone down to a 3.5 or 3.25 because it's quite open. But I'm desperately hoping with blocking that it will fluff up a little bit. Didn't check if it was superwash. I don't tend to buy superwash that often, but maybe it is. But hopefully it fluffs up nonetheless. So here's my Humlebi. And last but not least, another one you have already seen and I haven't made any extra progress is this up here. This is the first half of my vintage top robin, and I'll put a picture from a vintage little pamphlet magazine. This is the front and technically the sleeves, and I have cast on the ribbing for the second panel, and they will then get seamed outside and at the shoulders. I cast on for the ribbing and have the yarn all ready to go. And if I am feeling wild and can concentrate on lace, then this will be that project. So that is all in here. Dropping things. You may recognize this fabric. It matches my dress. So I've got all of my balls rewound up. I don't know if you've ever had this, but the Onion Knits yarn, even though I take the yarn from the outside, somehow at some point it separates and you get yarn bath, and it's so hard to get it to work, get it to just come out like a normal strand. It gets all knotted and a mess. So after experiencing that several times, I decided to just rewind them using my Swift and ball winder into normal balls, so it should hopefully work and not yarn bath all over me. There's only one. This is also on some Licker needles. These are 3mm. So this I will not bring on the plane because they're not interchangeable, and I don't want them to have any issues and then take the whole needle. I also wouldn't want them to take my interchangeables, but this one I'd have to get rid of the whole thing and then take off the knitting from the thing, and hopefully there won't be a problem. I haven't had a problem so far with knitting needles, but you never know. I will quickly mention what I'm wearing because I don't think that I have worn it on the podcast before. This is the Leaf Sweater, I believe it's called, by the Knit Stitch. This is my first ever jumper. First ever knitted jumper or sweater, pullover, whatever the word. I'll put my tea down. So this is knitted in We Are Knitters Pima cotton, and I have absolutely no idea if I was correct on gauge because I never swatched. But it was knitted flat and seamed together, yeah, as you can see. I actually have a leftover ball of the yarn. Yeah, so it's We Are Knitters, the cotton in colour Mauve. And it's very nice. I can't believe it was my first sweater. My first ever knitted garment, if you have seen my first or second episode perhaps, is also the leaf stitch, but the vest top version with the buttons. And then after I finished that, I bought this pattern and I just went straight in. So sometimes I'm so flabbergasted that this was my first ever sweater and second ever knitted item, and I didn't make any mistakes until I think my third or fourth knitted item. So I had absolutely no idea if I dropped a stitch or made a mistake how to fix it, and it just blows my mind that I did this. But here it is. If I knitted it again, I would probably make it shorter, because like with this outfit, you can't actually see because I'm too short, but it comes down quite low, like at my hips, which is actually very practical and very nice, but stylistically with the things I wear, I don't usually have longer tops. I like to have things more in at the waist and cropped. But alas, I still wear it regularly. And you can't see the skirt I'm wearing. Don't know how to show you. Maybe I can walk over there. Don't know if that helped. This is my Peppermint pocket skirt. Yes, Peppermint pocket skirt. I will put all the names of everything below because I cannot remember them off the top of my head. So they are my projects that I'm going to take with me, and those are the handmade clothes that I will be wearing. So that is everything for this random video, but I thought I want to make it because you might be interested, so hopefully you will. If you like this kind of, I was going to say vlog style, but it really isn't, is it? If you like this kind of video, you can press a like anyway. And I will see you when I come back from my holidays.